with another teaching moment on the cost of credit. So, in the real world, I do mortgages for a living, and we're looking at credit and scores and such every day. So, I want to show you like some creative things that I do to help my clients, but it'll give you like a really good insight as to what the cost of credit really looks like. So this week I had a young couple that wanted to refinance and pull some cash out to do some things to their home and modernize it and bring some things current. And so we were looking at doing 3.25. The husband's credit was well over a 700 and the wife was at a 652. And in a mortgage world, we're looking at the lower of the scores to figure out, which way the rates are going to go and how pricing runs. And it just so happened that based on a 652 to get that interest rate this week, it would have cost them almost 6 points just to get that, which is 6% of the loan amount. And so on the loan that they were doing, that would have been about $12,359. And so there's simulations inside of credit where we can tweak a few things and see if we change a few things, how we can get the score to go up. And by changing things, I could only get her up to a 660. And to do this, she had 2 credit cards that if we paid them down, it was going to cost about $1,900 to get to the next tier, which would only be 8 points to save them, a little over $2,000 to get the rate. And so thinking creatively outside the box, I have another company that I work with that does trade lines, and it's authorized user accounts where you can get added to someone else's credit history and you get to pick up all of the history they built. And he had trade lines that had like 10 years more on them. They were revolving accounts that had very low balances with high credit limits and perfect credit. And so he told me, he goes, for one card it would cost you $550. And I only needed to get her 8 points. That $550 versus paying $1,900 down would open up her utilization so that she would get to this point. So for $550 to save $2,000, it was pretty good. I said, well, what else have you got? And he goes, we can do a 3 or a 4 pack. With a 3 pack, you could possibly get her up here in that 680 range, maybe even close to 700. 4 would definitely get her there. And with them having small balances, it wasn't really going to change her debt to income ratio enough. But I was like, how much does it cost? For $1,700, she could do a 3 pack, and for $2,000, she could do a 4 pack. So essentially, it would be less any way that she went to save money by not paying off the credit card she already had, but to do $550 if she wanted to get here and save $2,000, or if she did a 3 pack, she could be somewhere in between here, which would save her anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 just by being able to increase her credit score rapidly, adding other trade lines that someone else has built that had this great history on it. And it just made sense all the way around to say, hey, for literally less than $2,000, I can save you almost $10,000. That's $10,000 extra in their cash out refi they could put in their pocket to be able to do something else with their home versus paying it to get a specific rate. So just wanted to share that tidbit because this is like something that is not talked about a whole lot. It's been around for a long time, but it is powerful to see what even, a few points in a credit score can do to save you money over time. And this is just on a mortgage. Think about if you're making any other types of purchases. If you're financing anything on credit, they're always checking your credit to see where your credit score is going. And the higher the credit score, the better the terms for the financing are, and particularly with buying a car. And so anything that you do, the better that you can make your credit score, the better everything else becomes for you, which saves you money in the long term. And there's all kinds of creative ways out there if you talk to the right coach to find out how to do that without it costing you an arm and a leg. So that's my Minute Corner check-in for the week. I hope you guys learned something from here, and continue to stay in the loop and reach out to me with any questions that you may have. 704-507-3893, or go to our page to get all kinds of information and see our little video clips each week at projectrentnomore.com. Thanks, and stay tuned for next time.